are tribals. For generations, we have lived with these forests. These forests have given us everything: food to eat and shelter to live. Now, the forests are diminishing. Population has increased. Man's needs have increased. So, the forests are being cut indiscriminately to satiate man's needs and desires. The forest no longer belong to us, the tribal. They are now the property of the state. We cannot even pick up a leaf from these very forests that we have conserved for generations. However, we cannot afford to lose the forest. Without forest, even we shall become extinct. So now, we all have to protect the forest and conserve them. Earlier there was bamboo, wild berries. There were a lot of them. It was so dense that even during the day, people feared going into the forest. And now, and now there is nothing. People have cut down everything. I have a sister who lives in Lakdewada. She brings everything from oil to rice by selling forest gum. Even if one collects the gum for a week, one could get everything required for one person. You would get so much stuff that carrying it would be difficult. But we don't get gum this side. There isn't much forest here. But there, she needs money for nothing. She gets everything by bartering the gum. If little more gum is collected, then one could even get a blouse piece like this. In our wadi, we can easily plant the forest trees. Planting forest trees as per our requirement around the wadi is highly beneficial, both for us as well as for our wadi. Forest trees grow tall. Planting them around the wadi provides a natural shade for the fruit trees within the wadi. These forest trees work as a barrier against strong wind, thereby shielding the fruit trees from wind and strong sun rays. The leaves shed by forest trees makes for an excellent biomass for the wadi. Their roots go deep down the soil, check soil erosion, and help replenish the groundwater level. Thus, planting forest trees helps in many ways. And yes, the trees like teak, bamboo, ebony, eucalyptus have a great demand in the timber market and can yield good money. Forest produce like soap nut, gum can be sold in the market and can be a good source of additional income.
If these trees grow well, they would be very useful. Even if these 150 teak trees grow, it would yield enough money for us. Benefits as in firewood. Later we can even sell it. This teak is used for doors, pillars, for construction of house. Now you can see that eucalyptus, if they grow, we can sell that also. There is eucalyptus, bamboo. Bamboo is used to weave baskets. We need baskets. Now this paddy, for paddy storage we need bamboo. We use baskets to collect leaves also. Can you see it there in that corner, like that? For household work, it can be useful. So from bamboo we can weave all that. One could even weave baskets and sell them if one wants. So that is another benefit.
हे सुद्धा करता येतं त्याचा फायदा आहे ते जाळी पण 20 जाळी जगल्यात काशीद जळाऊसाठी फाटी
Ebony is used as firewood.
अजून परत आम्ही
We have never sold it, but use it as firewood.
लागेल हां वापरतात हां भेंडीचे पण वाशे बिशे चांगले निघतात.
See, there is no tree which is not useful. Every tree is useful. You plant any tree, it will be of use only. If not anything, it would at least provide shade.
Forest trees should be planted 1 meter away from the fence. The pit for the forest trees should be of 1 foot wide and 1 foot long and 1 foot deep. These pits should be dug before the monsoon in the dry months along with the pits for the fruit trees. Some varieties of forest trees are cultivated by planting a sapling or a graft and some by planting stumps. A small nursery of forest trees could be made in the village and could be used by all the people. It could be taken up as an income generation activity by the self-help groups. While selecting the saplings for plantation, one should see to it that they are 1.5 feet in height and that they are healthy. The saplings should be planted within 10 to 15 days after the onset of monsoon. While planting the sapling, first put a spoonful of superphosphate in the pit and some compost. Cut the plastic bag in which the sapling is kept with a blade. Do not remove the soil around the sapling. Without disturbing the roots, place the sapling in the pit. Fill the pit with soil. Teak is planted by stump method. The minimum distance between two teak stumps should be of 2 meters so that the teak grows to its full width.
We were given 100 eucalyptus trees and 150 ebony trees and bamboo 20 besides 150 teak trees.
20 दिल्या
And last year they gave
7
acacia, 60 of them. Now they are small.
आणि मागल्या वर्षी
Out of that we planted all the trees, but the ebony trees could not grow.
त्याच्यामधून
In summer, there was water shortage here, so they could not survive.
त्याला काय पाणी नाही ना
On top, can you see? They survived.
ती दिसतात ते आहेत
That way they are less. Some died.
कमी कमी आहेत काही मेल्या.
Eucalyptus are there, some 60 70 of them.
अशा आहेत.
And teak is there around 60.
संपूर्ण आहेत. साग
Teak remains.
We have planted 150 teak trees in our wadi. We have to fetch water from the stream below the hill. We brought water on our heads but kept these little ones alive through the summer months. Forest trees also need proper nurturing. Once they hold roots, they can be left to grow by themselves, but till then they have to be cared for. They should be watered regularly. Weeds should be removed. Five years back, this land was barren. Today, there are at least 6 to 7 different varieties of trees on just 1 acre of land. In all, there are 300 trees in my wadi today. Just think, if all our needs of food and shelter are taken care of by just 1 acre of land, then why would we have to cut these forests and why would we have to leave our land and go far off in search of a job? The rains were a bit late this year. The pits have already been filled in the wadi. Fence has also been made. We were only waiting for the onset of monsoons to begin the plantation of saplings in the wadi. There is no point in keeping the saplings without planting for too long. If for some reason there is a delay in planting them, then make it a point to keep them under shade and do water them. Before planting the sapling, make sure that water does not get clogged in the pit. Dig out some soil from the center of the pit. Then carefully cut open the plastic bag in which the sapling is kept. Do not remove the soil around the sapling. Without disturbing the roots, place the sapling in the center of the pit. Fill it with the soil. Press the soil well. While planting the sapling, make sure that the portion that is grafted is at least 1 inch above the soil. Do staking immediately after planting the sapling to give it support and water it. Planting the saplings in the wadi is not enough. They have to be cared and nurtured. Though most of the laborious work is over before the plantation, the tasks after plantation are very critical and require time and consistency. Aftercare is very important for the optimum growth of the plants. The sapling that we plant in our wadi is a graft. The original plant gets the offshoots. This is a common thing, and these offshoots should be cut with the seccator. While cutting the offshoots, be careful of not cutting the graft. By removing offshoots, the graft grows well as the nutrients from the soil do not go to the unwanted offshoots. Thus, the graft gets enough nutrients for its own growth.
Bordeaux paste is an excellent medicine for the trees. To make the Bordeaux paste, you would need copper sulfate, lime, and water. Soak 1 kilo of lime in water in a container. Similarly, take another container and soak 1 kilo copper sulfate in water. Keep them soaked through the night. Never ever soak them in any kind of metallic container. This can lead to chemical reaction that could be harmful for the trees. So always use plastic containers for making Bordeaux paste. Next day, pour copper sulfate in lime and mix them well with a wooden stick. Later, take 10 liters of water in another container and pour the above mixture of copper sulfate and lime into it. Mix it well with the wooden stick. To check if the paste is ready, insert an iron rod into the paste. If the rod turns reddish, then the paste is ready to use. This paste has a peacock blue color. If you find it difficult to make this paste at home, then simply go to the market and buy ready-made paste. Keep this paste away from the children and make sure it does not get into eyes or mouth of anyone. In such a case, take the person immediately to the doctor. This paste should be applied onto the trunk of the tree after the monsoons somewhere in the month of October. Application of Bordeaux paste helps in healing the wounds of the tree. It also controls pests and helps the tree to rejuvenate.
Pruning the plant means removing unwanted branches and shaping the tree. Do not prune the plant with hands. Always use a seccator to cut the branches. Immediately after cutting the branch, apply Bordeaux paste to it. This helps in the healing of the plant. By pruning the unwanted branches, the plant did not take the weight of too many branches. The plant thus grows straight, not bending on either side. Besides, all the parts of the plant receive fair amount of nutrients.
In monsoons, removing the weeds is a huge task. The weeds that grow around the tree must be removed at regular intervals. If this is not done, then the tree can be infested with pests. Collect the weed that is cut in the trench, as the same could be used for composting later on. Similarly, remove the spider's net that accumulate on the tree leaves and keep the leaves clean. It's the leaves that absorb the sunlight and provide the plant with its food. By keeping the leaves clean, we help them in the process. Ideally, one should inspect the wadi every day for any kind of irregularity. Take a round in the wadi and see how the plants are growing. These simple habits help in detecting any problem whatsoever and thus take the necessary steps well in time. It is like stitch in time saves the nine.
We had made a dry fence before planting the saplings in the wadi. But in this monsoon, it collapsed. Dry fence is important in order to protect the wadi in its initial stages. But in the long run, live hedge proves to be the best. Of course, it is very difficult. The whole day we are after the animals, shooing them away. Even we eat while walking. Early in the morning, after preparing the food, we run after those animals, herding them. So, what to do? These animals are just left unattended. People don't understand only. Dry fence needs constant maintenance. In monsoons, it tends to rot and fall due to heavy rains. Dry fence has to be repaired on and off, and a new fence has to be made almost every year.
Dry fence is fine, but how many times will you make it? If you do it this year, it would break in the rains. It rots. This live hedge, there is no such tension. Now once the fence is made, every year you have to fill in the gap that gets created by planting sabar in between. Just making the dry fence is not enough. It breaks every year. Once it rots means it's gone. But now with the live hedge, there is nothing to worry about.
However, in case of the live hedge, once planted, it grows on its own and needs almost no care. Besides the products from live hedge varieties like Sagargota, Jatrofa, Nirgudi yields a good income too. Therefore, though dry fence should be made initially, live hedge is much more durable and yields a long-term benefit in protection of the wadi.
एक वर्षात दोघांनी
For the fence, initially I and my wife dug 60 pits for the trees.
तेच वर्षांनी परत हे
Simultaneously on the boundary, we planted sabar and jatrofa.
हे साबर आणि ही चंदरजोत लावली.
Then over that, we planted the berry bush that survived.
आणखी
The next year, we had no tension. Here, people simply leave their cattle unattended.
आमच्याकडे देतात.
The stray animals get in anywhere,
झाल्यावर
so the fence should be good and strong.
पण चांगला केला पाहिजे.
Yes, this sabar and jatrofa doesn't require
पाणी
water.
नाही लागत कधी केव्हा
It can be planted anytime.
आता पण
It
लावायची.
could be planted even now and even in the summer, anytime.
For live hedge, select a variety of plants that grow into a thick bush or have thorns. One could also have a combination of 2 to 3 varieties of plants for the live hedge. Certain varieties of plants could grow by sowing the seeds, like chilar and sagargota. Sagargota is a thorny plant and grows like a bush. Its seeds have medicinal attributes and have a good demand in the market. Sabar can be planted by planting a stump. One has to simply cut out a stump from the old sabar and plant it. It is fast growing species and requires very little water. Being thorny, it is excellent for live hedge. The seeds of Sagargota are sown in the second week of May. Nirgudi too is planted by stump planting method. Nirgudi grows tall. The oil extracted from its leaves is a good medicine for relieving painful joints. So by selling Nirgudi oil too, one can generate additional income. These days, research is being done on biodiesel. Jatrofa is a plant which is a source of biodiesel. Jatrofa can also be used for the live hedge. It is planted by stump method and grows tall and wide. Similarly, one could make a live hedge of agave. Agave is a thorny variety and grows fast. Live hedge is made in the monsoons. It should be planted close to the dry fence. As the hedge grows tall, in 2-3 years, gap gets created at the bottom. This gap should be filled in by planting sabar in between. But yes, do not make live hedge of the plants that animals could eat. Select plants that are evergreen and non-browsable. In fact, one should identify what grows best in one's region with minimum efforts and make live hedge of those plants. So do not just relax after making the dry fence. Go ahead and make a live hedge to protect your wadi. It feels good if there are children in the house. Their laughter, babbling fills in the house. Now all my children have grown up. All have left home to work in cities. Initially we felt lonely, but then last year we planted a wadi. Bringing up trees is just like bringing up a child. They have to be cared and nurtured like a child. A wadi needs immense care during the first 3 to 4 years of establishment as the trees grow rapidly in this stage. Good care at this stage will ensure a healthy growth of the trees. We face acute water shortage in our region during the dry months. Any amount of water poured for the plants just vanishes due to the heat. That is why we have made basins around the plants. Water collects in the basin and percolates into the soil to reach the roots. To make a basin, mark a circle at a distance of 3 feet, keeping the tree as the epicenter. Dig out the soil within the area of the circle. Heap this soil near the base of the sapling. This will prevent waterlogging near the base and minimize chances of termite attack. Make a small bund using gravel and small stones. The size of the basin should match the canopy of the growing plant. This will ensure that roots growing beneath the soil receive water. During the monsoon, a small break is to be made in the bund to release additional water that has been collected near the base. The basin is to be widened as the tree gains height. This should continue during the first 7 years after tree plantation and can be discontinued thereafter.
The roots of these tiny plants are not very strong. A strong breeze and down they fall or develop a twisted trunk. That is why these small plants need support. We have to provide support to these plants by staking. Staking means providing support to the plant with the help of sticks. For staking, bamboo is the best material as it does not rot easily. So, take 3 bamboo sticks 4 feet in height. The winds blow in the east-west direction, so staking should be done in the same direction. They should not be too thick as the weight of the bamboo sticks might fall on the plant and bend them. The bamboo stick should be dipped into linden paste or turpentine. This way, termites will not attack the bamboo sticks. Otherwise, the termites will gradually climb onto the sticks and reach the plants. Neem oil or any other termite repellent can also be used. Now that the bamboo sticks are ready, stake a bamboo stick at a distance of 1.5 feet, that is about an arm's length from the base of the plant. Similarly, stake another stick on the opposite side. Then tie up the third stick horizontally to the two sticks at a certain level to the plant. The horizontal stick should be tied at a level from where the main branch or branches start turning green. This portion of the plant is brown in color. Tying the stick to this level does not harm the tender portion of the plant. While tying the stick, first bind the stick with a rag and then knot it to the plant. Do not use any metal wire, nylon string or coir rope. They damage the bark, leading to the plant's decay. The distance of the stakes is to be maintained at 1.5 feet or about an arm's length from the base of the plant. But from the 4th year onwards, this distance is increased to 2 feet. As the tree grows, raise the height of the sticks. Once the plant is firmly rooted in the soil, staking is not required and can be removed.
The strong rays of the sun seem to bake the land in our region. Any amount of water poured to the plants just dries up and does not reach the roots. In such situations, mulching becomes essential. Mulching is like providing a cover to the soil so that the direct rays of the sun do not touch the soil. Mulching is a very simple task. Collect all the paddy straw and other agri waste from the fields and use it for mulching. Neem leaves, eucalyptus leaves, and biomass can also be used. Very small stones also help in mulching. Mulching helps to save water. That is why it is done after the monsoon withdraws and as winter sets in. First of all, sprinkle linden in the area within the basin and around the plant, as this will minimize chances of termite attack. Then stack a layer of agri waste up to a height of 15 to 20 centimeters or about the measure of 1.5 span. However, heap soil around the base of the plant and keep it clear of agri waste layer. This will prevent rotting of the plant base. In areas where termite infestation is widespread, using neem and eucalyptus leaves is beneficial. At intervals, clear the area near the base of the plant. This way, the soil receives sunlight and gets aerated and helps in killing the pest residing in the soil. This also helps to keep a check on the presence of termites. That is why mulching should be changed or shifted or cleared periodically. All this takes up only 10 minutes and the benefits are many. Roots receive adequate moisture, water does not evaporate, soil runoff is prevented and helps conserve 25 to 30% of water. Now just see how my plants grow into a lush green tree.
Just as mulching helps to protect the roots, the plant shelter protects the sapling. Tender saplings are unable to bear the strong rays of the sun and wilt away. That is why a shelter has to be erected for the plants. The plant shelter is to be erected in the north-south direction, sloping towards south. This way, the plants are exposed to minimum sunlight. Sticks selected to erect the shelter should be taller than the height of the plant and dipped into turpentine or linden paste before using. Erect the sticks at a distance of 40 centimeters, which is about arm's length from the plant base, and keep the slope towards the south. Use the support of 4 sticks to prepare the shade. Keep raising the height of the shelter as plant grows, or else the branches will tear through the roof. This will affect the growth of the plant. In the months of March and May, the sun scorches the soil, and so it is all the more important to construct a shelter for the young plants. Making a shelter in this way prevents wilting of tender leaves, helps retain soil humidity, and reduces cracking of the earth. The young plants receive shade and do not die. In this way, basin preparation, staking, mulching, and plant shelter help in nurturing the young plants. Good aftercare practices will result in the growth of healthy trees, and we will reap the fruits of our labor.